on the Rhody Sports Network.
You know, to be quite honest with you, it's humbling to be with good people. That's what we wanted to be a part of.
This is the Archie Miller Show. For the next hour, we'll bring you an inside look at Rams basketball. Tonight's show is brought to you by New England Laborers, Liuna, Feel the Care, Pizza Gourmet. Rhode Island's Wood Grilled Pizza Crust is a proud sponsor of URI Athletics. Haxton Liquors, where we buy the most so you pay the least. Newport Propane, Rhode Island's #1 choice for all your propane needs. Orthopedics Rhode Island, the official orthopedic and sports medicine provider for URI Athletics. Dave's Fresh Marketplace, better food, better service. Bank RI, bank on our strength. Now, here's your host, Steve MacDonald.
All righty, welcome once again to one of our favorite spots. It's Newport Craft Brewing on Coddington Ave, right in Middletown, Newport, right on the line. I want to thank everybody from Newport Craft for having us and hosting us. Always do a great job. We were here for Meet the Players during the summer.
Yeah, that was
and now
great.
we're back for a season preview with the first game coming up on Monday evening. You guys ready for some URI basketball? Absolutely. Absolutely. This is the Archie Miller Coaches Show, powered by Newport Craft Brewing. And from Learfield, this is the Archie Miller's Coaches Show. Just said that. New England laborers are training today's workforce to build tomorrow's communities with cutting-edge facilities in Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Connecticut. You'll gain the classroom job site experience needed for a rewarding career in construction. And got a nice crowd on hand, getting ready for night number 1 with Stetson, the Hatters, coming into town.
Yep.
Love that nickname. I like the Rams better, but the Hatters is pretty interesting. Coach, I'm going to take you back a little bit for one question. Back in the summer, at the end of July, I was there for the last practice before you sent them home for August to be back with their families and things of that sort. And you told those guys, your team, that for the summer workouts, your grade was an A+.
Yeah.
So tell us what went right in that summer, and then we'll go from there.
Well, I mean, you know, when you bring a group together and you set a plan forward, you want buy-in. And I think we had tremendous buy-in in all areas of our summer program, from guys being on time, being in their academic responsibilities. Weight room was a big part of the summer, getting going there, having that type of philosophy is big for us. And then as you move in through individual workouts and then you move into team workouts, you know, you're looking for that buy-in. And we had tremendous buy-in all summer. We really improved. We got a great base, you know, to finish the summer with, to start off once we got back in the fall. And, you know, I just think I was proud of our plan, but more importantly, the guys did a great job.
So if the summer was an A+, September and October, what's the second semester grade for this team?
They're right with it. I told them the other day after our last exhibition game that, you know, I love the team. I love the kids. At the end of the day, we don't have a guy on our team that's not trying his butt off right now to do what we're asking him to do. Putting it all together and getting great chemistry is going to take time, but when you have great attitude, you have a togetherness about you, you show up and ready to work like they do, you're going to have improvement. And what we need now is games. Unfortunately, you know, we have to play against other people. It's that time that you're yearning for an opponent.
You did have a couple of exhibition games that you'll, I'm sure, learn from. We can't give stats, but you can certainly give your general thoughts as far as what came out of it. It was BU and Rutgers that you played. Maybe you can put the two together and just say what you were pleased with and what you left saying, well, we've got to work on that. Yeah,
well, I mean, I think when you play the exhibition games, you take out the scouting. You take out all that, and you just want to go play. You want to practice against somebody else. But, you know, Boston University was picked preseason 2. Coach Jones is a good friend of mine. They have a returning core back. They have a first-team all-conference player, a 4-year starting point guard back. They have great size. So we knew going to play them, we were going to go against chemistry. We were going to go against somebody who knew what they were doing. And I thought that, you know, for the most part in our Boston U scrimmage, we did a really good job. There were some things that, you know, we got to get better at. First time seeing another team play defense a different way. First time playing against a team running an offense that's different than yours. But for the most part, we did a great job. One thing that really stands out about our team is we have the ability to be really, really fast and aggressive on both ends of the floor. That's how we have to lean into these guys. So we're going to have to, you know, kind of mold them in that mode. We're playing with great effort, playing really fast, is going to be part of our deal. We're fouling way too much. And I think if there's one negative, this is probably one team that we've had early in the season. We have to address this very quickly. But the fouling is just undisciplined or over-aggressiveness. There's some sloppiness in fouling. That's going to get us in big trouble here. We've got to clean that up. We moved on a week later. Good buddy of mine, Steve Peichel, over at Rutgers. I wanted a different flavor in terms of size. We wanted a different flavor in terms of, just the physicality of the team that we were going to play. And we got right what the doctor ordered the following weekend. We played Rutgers this past weekend. Very challenging for us. Hit us in the face a lot in the game. They made our team look around like, ooh, this doesn't feel like it's supposed to. And that's what you have to find a way to bring to the table here early is adversity, struggle. You got to put guys in situations, in a group in a situation where they're going to have to figure it out themselves, stay with it, don't fracture. So we got a lot of that, but both scrimmages were well worth it. I think our film sessions were very good with our team. Came back yesterday, watched it again, and then we took the practice floor today, and I thought we had as much energy today as we've had in a week or two. I just want our team to understand that, the value of finishing. Let's not be a practice team for 45, 60, 65 minutes. Let's be a practice team that goes into the 90-minute mark, the 2-hour mark that's still staying with it. Let's not break down as the season goes where practice becomes conditional at certain stages. So we got to tighten the screws up. We got to keep getting better, continuing to find a way to develop what we can be good at and count on.
I know last year you mentioned on a couple of occasions just that, breaking down mid-season when the games start piling up a little bit.
Yeah.
And you always mention two things, character and age.
Yeah.
How important are they?
The two biggest things that you have at your disposal in today's game is having older guys that have, number one, played a lot of games or been in a lot of seasons and understand the grind. Second thing is obviously a character level. Nothing matters more. You want guys that are consistently about winning. You want guys that are consistently about the work, and they care. And I think at the end of the day, if you have those two things, it's a big deal. And we have them. We also have a blend of young guys, but you could take, 5 freshmen or 5 seniors the first time they ever play together. It's gonna feel a little funny for them.
Absolutely. Your expected probable starting 5, if it goes as many of us who know nothing about what you're going to do try to guess, it would be a grad, redshirt senior, grad.
Potentially. Yeah, potentially we have an older group of transfers that have come in that have a lot of minutes or experience, and our older guys will definitely lean into them. What we're going to have to do, probably more importantly than the older guys who, are supposed to be playing, is we have to develop the Barretts, the Harpers, the Perrys. We have to develop the Damon Kings, because we're only going to be as good as our depth as with the way that we want to play. We're going to have a hard time playing 5, 6, 7 guys with the way that we want to play. We have to get into that 8, 9, 10 range where we feel comfortable, where guys have a niche, they have a role, they know what they're doing out there, and at the end of the day we can grow them that way. But I do think we have the potential to get a lot better as the season goes along, because we are so new to each other.
I understand that Drisa Traore didn't see a lot of time. He's been nicked
He's
up
been
a little
nicked
bit.
Up, yeah. We caught a stress reaction probably in the spring. He's been dealing with it for a while. When he came back from August, we re-examined him, and he still had some uncomfort, and re-scanned, redid it, and lo and behold, he did have a little bit of a stress fracture in his lower extremity there below the knee. So we shut him down for the month of September, non-weight bearing, nothing. He's just been cleared to now do weight-bearing movements. So now he's back on the floor for the first time, doing some running, some pounding. In about a week and a half from right now, he'll get rescanned, and if all is well, we'll start to incorporate him back in the middle of November, probably towards playing.
So no Drisa on Monday night.
We'll probably not see Dries. My hope is the end of November, early December, because he's been out so long, but
right.
We need him.
Yeah. Another guy that we want to get specific about, some great news coming today for Mook Ike.
Yeah, it was a fun day for Mook. Obviously well documented, had a health issue to deal with, was shut down, and went home to Amsterdam over the Christmas holiday, ended up having surgery while he was home, did a very rare procedure, on his condition, and he's now back in June. So when we saw him back in June at that point in time was the first time that we had saw Mook since Christmas. But all's well. He was rescanned up in Boston when he got back. We waited, I guess, about a month and a half for more testing and everything. And today he was cleared for basketball activity. So he had his first run up and down the floor for the first time in a year. And he's such a great guy, and he's got such a long road ahead of him, though, to get his body back, to get his basketball sense back. But every day that he's back, from that point forward, I think he'll start to develop a little bit of a confidence level and all that. And
will we see him this year?
That's to be determined.
Okay.
I think one of the things about his comeback that's so hard is when you're not allowed to do anything. Yeah. For whatever, 8 to 10 months. That's not a knee injury. That's not you're rehabbing a foot. You're not doing anything for 10 months. So the biggest challenge for him isn't basketball. The biggest challenge for him is to now slowly build his body back into a conditioning level, and that's going to take some time.
2025-26 Rams on offense. What's the philosophy? What are we going to see?
Well, we need to play as fast as we possibly can. My hope is that this will be the fastest playing team that we've had, and maybe not like the highest scoring team, but constantly fast. We don't have muscle. We don't have a bogged down type of a team. We have a team that's very swift, and we have to be able to play on the run with whatever we're doing, getting into things really fast. We want to be on top of the defense with as many possessions as we can. I also think that we have good versatility, so we got to have some guys playing in the low posts that are perimeters. Our high post guys, our bigs, have to play all over the floor, and we have to be a team that has the ability level to move the ball, conceptually play with one another, and then keep the play going, so to speak. And I always say, I think you let the ball talk. The ball will tell you what to do. Keep the ball talking to you. It'll tell you what to do. And we're doing a good job with it. It's going to take us some time on offense to adjust to different styles and defenses. But we have the potential to be a very fast-paced team and a team that moves the ball, shares the ball. And, to be honest with you, our offense has been probably a little better than I thought in the 2 live games. Haven't had a ton of turnovers. We've developed a way of getting to the foul line, which is great. We have to shoot the ball with more confidence and shoot when we're open and not pass them up. I think that's a big thing. And we're a better rebounding team. Even though we're a little smaller, we have the ability to crash and do some things that way. But offensively, I think we have a chance to, to be a fun team.
The play fast is what you hear from a lot of coaches in the preseason. Is it easier to play fast or to stop your opponent from playing fast?
It's easier to play fast. It's definitely harder to stop your opponent. I think that's what we're dealing with right now with our team, is to control, playing fast, but at the same time, being able to be organized and slow the other team down. Our defense has to feed into our offense, though.
Talk about the defense. Yeah.
I think one of the things that we have to lean into with our defense is great athleticism, and we cannot sit back, and we're not going to be able to play that, converge type of a game where you're playing position. We're going to have to be aggressive. We're going to have to scramble. We're going to have to fly around a little more than we have in the past. We're going to have to deflect the ball. We're going to have to steal the ball more than we have in the past. And we're going to have to really do a great job defensively of being a team that's hard to play against in that regard. But if your defense is flying around, if you are a defense that strives on pressure and deflections and things of that nature, hopefully that speeds into your offense a little more than just defensive rebounding and positioning and whatnot. So we have to kind of have our styles balance each other, and our defense has to create offense for us. That's a big thing. But at the same time, we have to be way more disciplined than we are right now currently.
Do a little better, worse. I don't like the word worse. Maybe better, and where you need some work as you start the season. Three-point shooting better than last year, than the year prior?
We should be a better three-point shooting team, and we should also have more three-point shooters on the floor. I think that's one of the things that we built here in the off season is we don't really have, just one or two guys. We have to have multiple guys take open shots, be able to shoot the ball. We got to get quality shots. But we don't aspire to not shoot threes. We're looking for rhythm threes as many times as we can. And we're really looking to play off the glass off of three-point shots as well. We're trying to be more of a better offensive rebounding team when we do shoot threes. We don't want to just stand and let us shoot threes. But I think that's one of the things from a quality perspective. We got to get good ones, we got to take good ones, and we're going to have to make a good percentage.
Barrett Loer is over there just relaxing. He heard we're going to shoot a lot of threes. He perked right up.
You don't have to worry about Barrett. He shoots a lot of threes.
He shot 3 since he's been here. Yeah. We don't even have a hoop. You mentioned offensive rebound. Is that a better part of the game than it was previously?
Yeah, I think the game has changed so much. The basketball game has changed so much where back in the day you could pretty much predict you'd have low post players or 3, 4s, and 5s being a little bigger. With the game being so spread right now and three-point shot becoming such a weapon, it's very, very difficult to rebound a lot of three-point shots. And I think you see teams right now crashing all over the floor, bringing guards in, doing a lot of different things. The threes are the most reboundable misses you can get. Mm-hmm. And we have to play into that a little bit more. I think we haven't done that in the past. I think this year we strive to do a lot better job offensive rebounding.
Perimeter defense, better, worse?
Better. I think, we have talent and we have some depth on the perimeter and some length. We have the chance to be a ball hawking team. We have a chance to really, pick up and extend for the first time, probably full court a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Our point guards in particular are quick. Miles is very good defensively. Joan is very good defensively. But we've got to get everybody kind of lined up. And I think, you always think you can be something.
Yeah.
Whether you will be or not is a work in progress. But we have got to hang our hat defensively on the ability level to impact the ball, stop the ball, play the ball. Our message to our team all the time is it's about the ball defensively. The ball scores. Play the ball. And when we put two on the ball, when we trap, when we hedge, when we do things, we're constantly having to get our guys to be able to protect and then scramble and do some things. So we'll see. I think that we've made some tweaks here in the last 48 hours or so we got to get used to by Monday. But, it's going to be one of those teams, I think, that is going to get better by the game.
Let us in on those tweaks, or you keep
just
them
a couple things. I think, from a technique standpoint, we have to do a better job. One, we're fouling out of aggressiveness and discipline. We have to clean that up with our hands being way more active above our shoulders, perimeters and posts. Can't play down here. Referees like that one. That's an easy one. We're getting way too many of this stuff. So we got to play a little bit more with our hands and play for deflections a little bit more.
You mentioned the referees. Got a challenge system now this year.
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah. What?
You don't know. I don't. It's scary. There's a new thing in there, and you don't want to be the coach that's challenging plays, and you don't know what play to challenge. And at the end of the day, you use your challenge too early.
Yeah.
I think it'll be one of those things in college basketball where most coaches put the challenge in their pocket, and you wait. Because you can only challenge a couple things. And you can't challenge. You're not going to see everybody going like this all the time, like go to the monitor, go to the monitor. You're not going to see that. But
it's out of bounds, goaltending, and restricted.
It's out of bounds, goaltending, and restricting. And I think the restricted area one and the out of bounds are going to be the things that you want to save in your back pocket for later in the game. You're not going to challenge something in the first half on an out of bounds call.
Right.
You're not going to challenge a goaltend in the first half. You're not definitely going to challenge a block charge in the first half because, as you know, the game's going to come down to the last 8 to 4 minutes, and you want to have something in your pocket to be able to go back to.
Also, expanded continuous motion this year.
Yeah, we've played into that in the two scrimmages. It's been weird. The NBA continuous motion. If you're in motion and take a step, they're going to give you the and one, where before, obviously, they'd call it on the floor. So we've had 2 or 3 of those that have looked funny, like, that's not an and one, and they give it to you, and then our guy goes to the basket, and they blow it on the floor, and then they lay it in, and then the referees meet, and they say, no, that's an and one. So there's a little bit of that, but it's a good one. It's a good rule. I like that one a lot because I think there's a lot of times that the guy is in shooting mode where they'll blow it dead on the floor when he was going up. So I think that cleans some stuff up.
Is that something you teach at practice? Like we
haven't talked about much about that one, just in terms of being able to draw fouls when you drive. We're constantly, a team that aspires to get to the line anyway. We've had a few continuation and ones, and we've given up a couple as well.
Free throws, better or worse?
It's got to be better.
Yeah.
I think number one, I told this team, I think this team can be one of the best in Rhode Island history about getting to the line. What we need to do is be one of the best at getting the line and make it. You know, we've played 2 40-minute scrimmages, and we've shot 67 free throws in 2 games. Now, part of that is both teams are fouling a lot, you know, so the officials are blowing it a lot here in these exhibitions. But when you go to the line 67 times in 2 games and you get 3.5 free throws a game, you want to be able to make them. And we're hitting them at about 74% right now, which is, you know, we take 70 and up, 72, 73%. If you shoot 73, 74% and you're getting to the line a lot, you're going to win a lot of games.
There's a lot of free points out there for you. And, Coach, I don't know if you're going with the headband on Monday, but the headband width has been expanded from 2 inches to 4 inches.
It's a great thing they did there.
Taking care of business.
There's a lot of things on the table in college athletics, and it's a good thing that they expanded the headband.
Absolutely. Oh, man. So one more on the better, worse, and then we'll go from there. Attitude, this team.
Great.
Yeah.
You know, workers. We have a true team of guys that work in the gym before practice, in the gym after practice, in the gym at night. You know, you got a bunch of gym rats, which is, you know, the thing you love to see. But we have a team that loves basketball, and guys who love the game have a chance to get better.
Let's call camp September, October. Who's your camper of the fall on this team? Who exceeded expectations?
You know, we had a lot of guys obviously do really well in terms of, like, our September was much more conditioning and defense, and we didn't practice as much in September as we had in the past because I just feel like it's such a long year. If you start going in September, by the time you get to October, you're kind of tired.
Sure.
You know, you don't want to practice. So we held back, but I think just in general we've had a lot of growth. We've had some guys get in tremendous shape. We've had some guys get a lot stronger. We've had some guys be in great condition. But just in terms of, like, the overall aspect of who had the best fall, we didn't play as much.
Okay.
So it was kind of one of those things where, you know, you're checking the boxes in different areas of conditioning and whatnot. But, you know, slew of guys made great improvements.
Now, at the point guard position, we're not going to have time to go through all the positions, but Miles Corey, pretty special player, and RJ Johnson gives you a nice
yeah, that's a great 1-2 punch. You know, RJ, I think I've said this, he's a coach. You know, he's going to be a coach one day. You can tell the way he plays, he thinks, and we're going to rely on RJ to get us organized. You know, he did a great job. He had a little bit of a groin issue in the first 2 weeks of practice, so he missed about a week, and then now he's back again. Did a really good job for us of pushing the tempo, can run the team, smart. Miles, I don't know if I've been around a guy athletically as gifted at a guard spot as him, just in terms of how fast, his ability to jump, his natural instinct. So he brings us a really change of pace at the point guard slot in terms of speed. And
then Keon Itizere on the other end of your team, one of the bigs who is a pretty athletic guy himself.
The most athletic front court player I've ever coached.
No kidding.
Not a question in terms of the he's not the biggest guy. He doesn't carry the most weight. But in terms of speed, agility, and jumping, I've never had a front court guy with the ability to move like him. And he gives us a lot of flexibility with how we want to play.
Does he help you on both ends?
He does. You know, I think one of the things he's being asked to do more than anybody on our team. His responsibility with what we need him to be able to do offensively, running the floor, pick and roll game, handle the ball. And then defensively, as much as he's going to be called into action, he's got to have the ability to obviously impact the ball a lot more and then get back. We're not going to be a team that can just lay around in the low post and play behind. We don't have that kind of weight. So we got to keep the ball, in front of us. We got to impact it, and he's being asked to do a lot.
And one other special player that I'm really excited to see is Tyler Cochran.
Yeah, Tyler obviously had a year off. He breaks his toe at Minnesota. He misses a year, but if anybody researched him 2 years ago, he was all-conference in the MAC, and he was also the Defensive Player of the Year in the MAC. And I'll watch film, and I'll literally say, he's not doing anything that we're asking him to do, but he has 5 steals and 5 deflections and about 4 plays that it's just like, what is he doing? And then he takes the ball. Amazing strength and quickness in his hands. If he smacks you, you're done, and he has the ability to reach and gamble and deflect. He really causes a lot of problems defensively. We have to get him more solid.
He's like a fullback and a tailback kind
he
of mixed
definitely
together.
can play for Coach Flem. That's definitely not a problem.
We won't bring it up, though.
No, I mean, he's probably pretty much past that, although he could probably get another year of eligibility these days if he wanted to switch sports. But Tyler's built like a linebacker.
You could always get one more.
One more,
right?
yeah.
You could always get one more. Coach, the schedule, you get the Veterans Classic coming up. This is, of course, after the opener on Monday, which we're certainly most concerned about. But the Veterans Classic at the Naval Academy, I heard the night before the game, your team and every team involved gets a really nice tour.
Yeah, you know, anybody who's ever played in the Veterans Classic, it's the first Friday of college basketball at the Naval Academy. It's a doubleheader. They bring in every team on Wednesday night. All day Thursday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., you have a regimented schedule, players and coaches. You're meeting with all cadets, eating with cadets,
wow,
touring, and then the coaches are meeting with the leaders on campus, the military officials. You're going through counseling, leadership, and then you have lunch and whatnot with them, and then you bring everybody together in the evening for a banquet. And anyone that I've talked to who has been there said when you leave, it'll be one of the most special things that you were a part of for that day. So I'm glad our team's going down there.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
You play Tulsa when you're there, and then down in Disney for the ESPN Events Invitational, the Terry's Chocolate Invitational. First game is against Towson. They're number one preseason in the CAA. Pat Scurry, formerly an assistant coach at Rhode Island, is doing a good job.
Pat's an unbelievable coach. He's a great guy.
Good
He's really
guy.
fun. He's done an amazing job at Towson. Brings his whole team back, and we'll be preseason, picked to win the league. We'll open with them. The whole field is conference champions, NCAA tournament aspiring teams. There's not a team in that field that you will play that won't have a great season. So we got our work cut out for us when we get to Orlando. Towson will be a definite challenge on game one.
They get Tyler Tejeda, who's the Rookie of the
player,
Year last year, Player of the Year preseason this year. We don't get too far ahead of ourselves. What about Stetson? What challenges do they bring?
Well, Donnie Jones is their coach. He's a former Billy Donovan assistant coach and has been a longtime college coach. But Donnie's an offensive wizard. They're going to play with unbelievable pace, unbelievable shooting, and great spacing. They're going to, in game one, with a whole lot of no footage, bring in a brand-new team. Mm-hmm. So we're going to have our work cut out for us defensively, covering them. It's going to be a fast game. I think they'll change a lot of defenses here early in the season, which you don't see a ton. So that'll be new for our guys. But our home opener against Stetson is going to be one that's going to be interesting because it'll be the first time out there under the lights. And you're going to play a team that's really, really organized and runs great stuff, and they're going to put us in some tough spots.
Blank slate, like you said, a lot of new guys. You're in that situation as well. You were picked 12th out of 14 in the Atlantic 10. What are your thoughts on that?
You know, I think at the end of the day, it was just it's a lack of respect on where we've been because nobody in our league or no coach or no media member really could probably name 4 players on every team. Mm-hmm. I can't.
Yeah, right.
You know, so as a coach in the league, I don't know who's on everybody's team right now, but I do think there's some hit and miss with the preseason stuff, especially in a league like ours that has so much turnover. You don't really know until you start going. There are some predictable ones that return good players back from a team that's pretty good. So like a GW, a St. Louis, they're going to bring back big-time players, all-conference players. They're going to add some pieces to those. VCU and Dayton, obviously, they're going to spend a lot of money on their roster. They could have a new coach, they could have a new team, but they're going to have talent. So the favorites, so to speak, you could probably predict, but you can go from 4 through 9 during the regular season, and you're always a game apart. I think it'll be the same way this year, and our team looks forward to that.
Excellent, Coach. Appreciate you being here. I'll wrap up with one question. Monday night, Stetson, at the end of the night, when you look at that box score, what's the first stat you're going to be concerned about to determine if you did what you set out to do?
Well, I think number one is fouling. We got to clean up the fouls. We can't put a team in our home building at the line unnecessarily. You know what I mean? We have to have good fouls, but we can't have undisciplined fouling. We have to keep them off the line. Second number that I would look at, and it really doesn't matter at the end of the day, where's our turnovers at? Mm-hmm. We should be a team that's going to play with less than about 10, maybe around 11. Can't turn it over early in the year. And then the rebounds, obviously. But the number that stands out to me and the one that will be the most important every game is deflections.
Okay.
It's going to really determine how active we are, how hard we're playing, and how effective we're going to be in the game. Our deflection totals have to be around 35 or more at the end of a game for us to say we really had an impact with our defense in this game. If we don't hit those numbers, most of the time, we're not getting the job done on that end. So deflections is going to be the number at the end of the day that you're going to look at and say, did we play hard enough? Were we effective enough? Were we disruptive enough on that end of the floor? And if we are, great, good things will happen. If we're not, it'll be a long night.
Because with deflections, they lead to easy buckets.
You
don't have to work so hard to score, right?
You know, a deflection leads to steals. Deflections leads to shot clock violations. Deflections leads to broken plays. We have to have the ability level to play with a high number of deflections, and that's going to be how our team's going to have to be successful.
Coach, we appreciate you.
Yep.
Looking forward to seeing you on Monday.
Thanks
All right.
for everybody
Archie
coming
Miller,
out. Yep.
the head coach of the University of Rhode Island, against Stetson at 7 o'clock at the Ryan Center on Monday night. It is time for college basketball in Kingston. Right, Peter? Jocelyn, right? We're ready to roll. In just a minute. You know what, Coach? Can you flip that on for 1 second? I can't let you get away without talking about this guy over here.
Who, Barrett?
Barrett Loer is going to be on with us next. And just a word about what he's done since being in the fold at URI.
Yeah, Barrett is, we've known Barrett since he's probably been finishing 10th grade.
Yeah.
So we've been following him, and he has a great history down here in Newport over across the bridge there, and played. Unfortunately for him in his last 2 years, he's had 2 real setbacks injury-wise, where he's missed a lot of time. And he got healthy again, and once he arrived on campus in the summer, he's been a breath of fresh air. Obviously, tremendous worker, loves the game, great teammate, easy to be around, in terms of fit. And Barrett brings early in his career something you can count on. He can really shoot it. Mm-hmm. He's a young guy like everybody starting out in October where the world's spinning. And he's got to go from being uncomfortable in a lot of areas, just getting more comfortable. Once he's more comfortable, he's going to show that from a confidence perspective, he can really play. And he's got a great motor. Rebounds the ball really well for us. Causes some problems there. I love. Can really shoot it, and I think that's something our team is definitely going to need over the course of the season. He's just got to find his niche in terms of here early in the year of continuing to get better and better and better, and I think he's going to play a good role for us. But Barrett's a great kid. Thankful he's with us. I think he'll be a fan favorite for a long time here.
And we're happy to have him with us tonight. We'll talk to him next. Barrett Loer coming up. Coach, thanks again. Appreciate you. Back in just a bit, I want to mention before we take a break, women's soccer hosting the quarterfinals of the A-10 on Friday night, 7 o'clock, free admission. They're up against VCU. It's the first time that women's soccer has hosted a tournament game on campus. 2016, the last time it happened. So going to be a big one on Friday night. We'd love to see you out there supporting the women's soccer team and their quest to move to the semifinals with a win against VCU. So that's 7 o'clock start Friday night at right next to the Ryan Center on the soccer field at URI in the soccer complex. Looking forward to seeing you there. Thanks very much. We're going to be back with Barrett in just a sec. Welcome back once again to the Newport Craft Brewing Company. We are happy to be here. Great supporters of the University of Rhode Island. We're here during the summer. You were here during the summer for Meet the Players. And then this time we're back to meet Barrett Loer in particular, one player. Hey, how about it, right? You're just on campus as a freshman. You had prep school year, but you're a freshman. And we have the first Archie Miller Coaches Show of the year.
Yep.
And you're the guest.
First one.
That is to the top of the list with a rocket, right? That is pretty good. You had a free night. Is that what it came down to?
Yeah, right.
Other guys had night class or something like that. And you said, yeah, I can do it. That is cool. Big night on Monday night for you.
Yeah.
We'll look forward to that. Talk about it in a second. But we want to thank our friends at Newport Propane, Rhode Island's #1 choice for all your propane needs. Family owned and operated since 1959. Newport Propane will treat you like part of the family. Visit them at newportpropane.com. And that's Pete and Jocelyn Sherman right over there at table 6. Our Newport Propane representatives, 2 of the greatest. You're going to get to know people around here. Those are the best people in the world right there. Best people in the world. We love them. Absolutely love them. I want to thank the Pizza Gourmet as well. We love them more because we love pizza. Rhode Island's Wood Grilled Pizza Crust is a proud sponsor of URI Athletics. Order online today at woodgrilledcrust.com. That's woodgrilledcrusts.com. Number 10, Barrett Loer, 6'6", 190, freshman. Right down the street at St. George's, right? How far is St. George's from here?
10 minutes.
10 minutes,
Yeah.
all right. You know, I was telling Barrett before we started, I said, I think you're a great player, and you are absolutely a great kid, great guy. So we're so happy to have you here. I said, but your best attribute is that you pick schools right on the ocean. I mean, you went from St. George's, which is right there, to Kingston, which is, hop, skip, and a jump down from Scarborough and all the rest of them. Pretty good choices.
Right there.
You a beach guy?
Yeah. Growing up, I've always been near the water, things
Yeah.
like that. And then obviously being at St. George's and now University of Rhode Island, you're always just right around it, right there, summertime, year-round.
Now, I know there were other reasons that you went to St. George's and that you went to Rhode Island, but was the beach pretty high on the list? I mean, I don't see you at Fordham, you know?
Where you visit, they talk a lot about it, but it definitely plays a role.
Yeah.
Get some good days there.
Why not, right? St. George's, Middletown, Newport, but Middletown, they give the address. Purgatory Road, boy, I tell you, those Episcopal schools, they let you know right away. It's going to be tough. Purgatory Road. Holy man. That's a brutal one. You're from Millis, Mass, though. Now, Monday night, first game in a URI uniform for real. Who are you going to have down?
I got a good group coming right now. My parents over there in the back, my brother, they're going to be there.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yep, so they'll be there. A few of my old trainers, high school coaches growing up, so should be a packed house behind the bench.
Your brother a hoopster?
Used to.
Yeah,
Retired.
Yeah. Retired? Okay. All
Track
right.
athlete now.
We'll raise that banner to the into the rafters. Hey, while you were getting here, Dwayne Pina was here, who was the head coach at St. George's, and he told me, I said, what's one thing about Barrett? He said, ask him what sport he really wanted to play when he came to St. George's. I guess there were 3 of them, right?
Yeah, I played 3 sports going into high school. I played basketball, football, and lacrosse.
Yeah.
And probably until that freshman year, lacrosse was my main sport.
Yeah.
And then after that year, just sort of.
I said to Dwayne, I said, was basketball number 1? He said, 2 or 3, but not number 1.
It depended on the season, like every young kid. When it was football season, it was football.
Sure,
basketball season, basketball.
I think that's a healthy way to do it, right? So you're not doing one thing all the time. But right now, Arch wants you to do one thing all the time, right? No more lacrosse, especially. Plenty of Big 4 schools interested in you, and then you broke your foot.
Yeah.
And a lot of schools, or you tell the story, but Rhode Island kind of stood out.
Yeah. Coach Carroll's the main coach that was recruiting me. He came to one of our open gyms when he was recruiting one of my other teammates, and it was sort of like, oh, I'm locked in. And, I was young. I wasn't really sure what that meant at that age. But, once the June 15th live period came around, he was at all my games, baseline, all our open gyms, whatever he could. Always texting my phone and just made sure that I knew I was a priority for the University of Rhode Island.
That is awesome. I'm going to bring up Shane Donaldson wrote great stories on all you guys throughout the summer on GoRhody.com. They're still up there. You just have to go back in history a little bit to June and July. But there were 2 names that stuck out to me, and I want you to talk about Caleb Joseph.
Yeah. Caleb's one of my good friends. I've known him for probably around 2 years now. What he does, he was a basketball player. He played at Syracuse and Creighton. But he's big on the sort of mental performance aspect side of life, not only in sports, but just life in general. He spoke at my old high school / middle school. My mom told me there's somebody speaking, I should go listen. So I came home for the weekend, and he ended up knowing a bunch of people I knew just in the basketball community. Got to be friends with him. Just always on the phone with him now. We work a lot just in terms of like the mental health side of sports and his life. I was with him at the MacDonald's All-American game for the weekend last spring. A few of my friends were playing. He came and spoke at St. George's actually last spring. So, that's my guy. I'm always on the phone with him, talking to him.
Former Syracuse guard, right?
Yep.
And inspirational talk, I understand, about digging out of holes and meeting challenges along the way, right? And then the other one, a little less serious, you mentioned the movie High School Musical. What's that all about? I was really looking forward to seeing you play, but now I'm not so sure.
It's funny. That's how it actually all started. I got a sister, a younger brother, so the family movie nights when you're a kid. And my mom actually put it on, And, it's my first time, really seeing basketball just in, a setting in terms of, that's how I, was introduced to it almost. I was really young. And then after that, I got super into it. I made her go get, the little tykes, the mini hoop basketball.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So she put it on our back porch.
So you were that young?
Super young.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I was really young. And then I sort of had her play, the High School Musical song and stuff. I'll go outside and shoot around a little 4-foot hoop. And that's how it started.
Now, I don't know why I know this. Isn't that Zac Efron? Or is he the guy?
Yeah.
How about that, huh? She's talking about embarrassing. How do I come up with that? Hey, let's get back to basketball.
Yeah.
When people say Barrett Loer, they say three-point shooter.
Yeah.
What are they missing? What else do you do?
I think I can get it done at all levels, sort of whenever I need to, do. I've been on a bunch of teams with a lot of guys better than me, worse than me. I've had a lot of different roles, so just being able to fit in where I need to fit in and, bring a winning aspect to a team, whatever that may be, shoot threes, get to the rim, play defense, rebound, sort of whatever's asked of me, I can sort of get done.
Filled it up at St. George's, and before that as well. You get to URI. You've had a couple of scrimmages, and you've also obviously played against your guys for a long time. Is it more difficult to get that shot off against college Division I defense?
I wouldn't say more difficult to get it off, but you have to go almost hunt that shot. High school, you can get it, take a few dribbles, and pull one up. The defender's going to be smaller, not as good. So you can always get a good shot up no matter what. Now it's sort of just reading the reads. Whether it's a pick and roll, you got to lift, drift, different type of ball screens, off-ball motion, just whatever you got to do to get open and sort of get that shot off is sort of what I've learned the most.
So your shot, your release is essentially the same as it was when you played down here?
It's sped up a little bit, sort of because it had to.
Yep.
Especially with that role that I'm in right now. But sort of the shot selections I take, I had a lot more shots I was shooting in terms of getting to the rim, mid-range, posting up, three-point catch and shoot off the dribble three-pointers, and now it's sort of not narrowed down, but it's harder to get to some of those other shots. So just taking the good shots when you get it.
6'6" perimeter guy really plays an advantage, right?
Yeah, it does.
As far as height. When you look at your team, you're one of the key three-point shooters.
Yep.
Who else has impressed you with their three-point shot? Who are we going to see fill it up from behind that line?
Three-point, definitely Jonah Hinton. He shoots the ball really, really well in practice. One I think that will surprise people is Mo Sal.
Yeah,
He
really.
plays a 4-5, but he can sort of stretch the floor and, take threes, catch and shoot, pop off a screen, things like that. He's a guy I think that will surprise people in terms of three-point shooting.
Your two first scrimmages.
Yeah.
What's your takeaway? Can't give numbers, but your impressions of how you did and how fast the game was and whatever else you got.
It was good. I think those first few minutes, are going to be fast no matter how prepared you are. Just haven't played a college setting yet, and then you sort of get that first media timeout or whatever it is out of bounds. You can take a breath and sort of realize, all right, it's just basketball now. So after those first few minutes, you're pretty good. But I think it went well. I think guys played well together, put a lot of stuff together that we've been working on, and then there's obviously some things we can go work on, which is also good. So
you're one of the young guys, right?
Yeah.
You've got a few freshmen on the team, redshirt freshmen, and then you and a lot of grads and a lot of redshirt seniors, a lot of old guys out there.
Right.
What do they tell you about Division I basketball to get you ready? Do they give you any advice or anything?
Our old guys do a really good job of sort of not making it easier for the freshmen, but a lot of them have been through it for a lot more years than we have, and they're very good about if we mess something up, they're always going to come before they get mad at us about it. They're going to come explain it to us and teach us what we need to know and learn, so the next time it doesn't happen. And they're very understanding in terms that they know we're learning the game just like they did, so they do a good job of making sure we know what we're doing and then sort of including us. And now I think we're at a time when we've been through it enough, and they've sort of been there through those first stepping stages to get to now. And I think the freshmen are at the same speed as everybody else is. So. And
obviously you're close to all your players, your teammates now. But I was reading where Damon King was kind of the first one that.
Dame. So Dame actually committed a few days after I did.
Okay.
We sort of texted over Instagram here and there, just talking about Rhode Island, things like that, why we committed, and I didn't actually get to meet him until my official visit in October. I hung out with him all weekend there, and then sort of lived down the hall from each other in the summertime. So that was definitely the first guy I was introduced to.
Put basketball aside. I know St. George's is a boarding school, so you're used to living on campus, but living on campus at URI. Pretty fun?
Yeah, it's different. I think St. George's is very sort of all-school inclusive type of environment, so I go outside of my dorm and I see hundreds of kids I know every day and see in the dining hall and the classrooms and all that stuff. But, living at school is also very fun here. They do a good job of they sort of keep us all close together. We're actually stacked all on top of each other right now in terms of flooring in the dorms, so we all know where each other's dorms are, where we live, and we do a lot of hanging out outside of basketball. We're very good about, weekends just hanging out, whether that's in someone's living room and just talking or, playing the video games, stuff like that together. So,
what video games do you play?
Video games, me, a lot of 2K right now.
Okay.
The new one just came out recently, so a bunch of the guys
Who's the best on the team?
I'll give it to Jalen.
Oh, yeah?
He has the most hours logged. He plays a lot.
Practice, right? Coach might say, well, a little misspent, but that's okay. At least he's working on something.
Yeah.
Where do you rank? You in the top 5?
I'm all right. I sort of just play this to get on with the rest of the guys.
Top 16?
Right. Top 16. But we all have the mics and the headsets, so we're just talking between each other.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, we do a thing called Know Your Hometown when we have a player on as a guest for the show. We ask you questions about where you're from. Now, for you, it's Millis, Mass., and I'm going to include Middletown, Rhode Island, too, because a lot of us are familiar with St. George's and Middletown. So I'm going to ask you a few questions, see how, you're all about Kingston, but do you remember where Mom and Dad raised you, right? Exactly. Were you Millis your whole life?
Yeah, still am.
Okay, all right. So, still am, right?
Yeah.
But so this will let you know, your parents know if they did a good job and letting you know to appreciate Millis, Mass. What county is Millis, Mass. in?
Norfolk County.
Norfolk County is correct. Very good. What do you think of that, Mom? Not bad. Not bad. Population, plus or minus. I'm going to give you a number. Plus or minus the population of Millis. I'm going to say 10,000. More or less?
Less.
Less is correct. 8,460. With you here, 8,459. But and now with your family here as well, it's down around 860. What river runs through Millis?
Charles River.
Yeah, when in doubt, say the Charles River, right? Always. Runs through everything, right? That and the Mississippi, those are the two. A couple of Middletown questions for you. What 2 beaches with ocean water are located in Middletown?
Yeah, second and third.
Second and third is correct. First is in Newport, I think, right?
Yeah.
And then second and third are in Middletown. I tell you what, you are sweeping this table. This is any indication of what Monday night's going to be. It's going to be a great night. Final one. Middletown is middle because it's between 2 towns. What 2 towns is Middletown located between?
Newport.
Newport is one.
Portsmouth.
Portsmouth is correct. Very good. A+. Got them all. That is fantastic. Congratulations, Barrett. Hey, first of all, you're a talented guy, and we're happy to have you for that reason.
Thank you.
Maybe that's second of all, right? You're a great guy, and we're happy to have you because of that. You had a high character, and Coach talked about bringing in high-character guys, and you're one of them. And we appreciate you being here, and we really look forward to seeing you not only play Monday night, but play all season long and make Rhode Island proud. So thanks very much for being here, and thanks for being here at URI.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Barrett Loer, that's going to do it for us. Mom and Dad, you did a great job. We will see you Monday night over at the Ryan Center. And remember, Friday night, women's soccer hosting quarterfinal against VCU. You going to be there Friday night?
We'll be there.
Yeah.
The basketball team always goes to the soccer games.
Excellent. Friday, 7 o'clock, and it's the first time they've had a home game for the tournament since 2016. So congratulations to the women's soccer team. Get on out there and support them. Appreciate it. Thanks for supporting URI. We'll see you Monday night at the Ryan Center. Take care. Go Rhody.
You've been listening to the Archie Miller Show. Tonight's show has been brought to you by New England Laborers, Liuna, Feel the Care, Pizza Gourmet. Rhode Island's Wood Grill Pizza Crust is a proud sponsor of URI Athletics. Haxton Liquors, where we buy the most so you pay the least. Newport Propane, Rhode Island's #1 choice for all your propane needs. Orthopedics Rhode Island, the official orthopedic and sports medicine provider for URI Athletics. Dave's Fresh Marketplace, better food, better service. Bank RI, bank on our strength. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Rhody Sports Network.